Joins us now. Mike Collins lost his wife to ovarian cancer about 8 years ago, and her story was typical of so many women. The cancer was found in a late stage, leaving her facing a battle that was almost impossible for her to win. His nonprofit, Until There Is a Cure, raises money to help in research and early diagnostic techniques for that cancer, and one of the ways that they raise that money is with a golf tournament they have coming up this year on September 24th. So Mike joins us this morning. Starla Melkerson is here with him as well. She was on last year, and you, Starla, are kind of a woman who defies the odds because you are a survivor of ovarian cancer.
Yes, ma'am.
Good to see you both.
Good to be here. Thank you.
I gave us partly true, partly not lead-in into you, because the truth is, much of this Until There Is a Cure was Karen's idea.
It was. She was emphatic about, we got to find a way to help other women. You know, we have 2 daughters, a granddaughter, but just in general, because as we started looking and realized how little funding there was for ovarian cancer, it takes away the hope, because there's still, you know, the first line of therapy, it's been around for decades, actually, the chemos that they use. So it, you know, it's an ugly cancer. It's very aggressive in most women, and most women don't get it until very late stages, because there's no warnings,
Right.
There's no symptoms there.
It's a little bit unusual because so often when we have people on the show and they talk about raising monies for any type of a medical issue, usually it's going to help with transportation or staying local to help local Chattanoogan. There's a part of that we'll talk about. But the research is the way you help local Chattanoogans.
It really is. If you look at the money raised or given by the government or anyone else to ovarian cancer, it's the deadliest gynecological cancer there is, and it's the least funded. They do a comparison, and they look at all the funding, and they add a number per year of survival and see how much money was given per year of survival for the first 100 cases, 100 new cases. Ovarian cancer receives $85,000 per year of survival. Prostate cancer receives $1.1 million per year.
Wow.
So there's a big
That's
gap.
a huge
there.
gap.
And
we're working to start to bridge that and shrink that gap, because with this golf tournament you have coming up at the end of September, you raise a lot of money. You've given a lot. Brag, how much money have you given to research?
over $1 million since 2012.
Which means that you watching have been a part
Yes.
of giving that $1 million.
Chattanooga is a great place.
So you, Starla, were 23 when you were diagnosed?
Yes, I was 23. I was working full-time and had just started back to college, so it was a big deal.
Your diagnosis, as I remember, really came as a complete lark.
It was a fluke, just lower back pain, which is typical. Typically people get lower back pain and that's about it, normal PMS symptoms. But yeah, so they thought it was my appendix. The radiologist read the results wrong, and so I got a stage 1C diagnosis, which is usually unheard of.
So you were able to go through treatment.
Yes.
You have a little 4-year-old daughter
Yes.
now, but if I'm remembering the story, it came back. Is that right? The cancer came back?
Yes, my daughter was 5.5 months old when my cancer came back. They didn't want to do the surgery because of my age, unfortunately, but I pushed the doctor and they did, because I had a feeling it was cancer back, and luckily we pushed them. It was still stage 1, almost stage 2 at that point, and if we had waited longer, it would have been stage 3 or 4.
So back to your 80, well, okay, a different number first before I get back to the $85,000 funding. The tournament.
Yes.
Is there still room for teams?
There's still room for teams both in the morning and in the afternoon rounds. The morning round tees off at 8:30, the afternoon at 1:30.
So all you have to do is think about the women in your life. And if you're a group of women and you golf, you join up too.
Absolutely.
But think about the women in your life and what you would do if they just out of the blue got this diagnosis that is really terminal.
It is. I remember when Karen was diagnosed, we here locally, we got in the car and she looked at me and she said, "I've got a year to live." And I didn't know anything about ovarian cancer at the time.
There have been a lot of women who've joined you arm in arm in helping with this. You have a group called, they call themselves the Chemo Fund. Is that, or the Chemo?
The Chemo Sobbies.
The Chemo
Yes.
Sobbies. Chemo, operative word, they were 4 friends joined up, I guess, doing their chemo treatments. 2 are still with you. So you have this Chemo Fund that you're using to help people? Is
Yes,
that right?
so we've started up the Chemo Fund, the Chemo Sobby Fund this year. It's new. We started it in February to raise funds for local women. We will be giving back part of that funds throughout the year to just help with gas, food, different things that you don't think about that women are having to order out. They're having to travel for their treatments. I mean, the office around here has people that come 2-3 hours just to get their treatments, and so they have to stay in hotels. They have to stay different places.
Well, think about your neighbors, think about your own life and what you would want someone to do to help you if you were in this walk. It's a daunting one. It
is.
And I know Karen's very proud of the work you're continuing to do.
I think she would be, yes.
So it's Until There Is a Cure. That's what they call the organization. You can look it up at unteal.org. The golf tournament is the 24th at beautiful Windstone. Please sign up. As you heard Mike say, afternoon and morning slots available. And squeeze that baby girl when you get home.
Yes.
Nothing brings us together like football and good food.
Good luck, y'all.
So we're firing up the grill with our new Steakhouse Bacon Burger and Steakhouse Patty Melt. 2 all-beef patties, mushrooms, onions, and our signature steak sauce. Score Jack's new Steakhouse favorites today.
I was born with a sunny